Here from the European Parliament, I'm calling for fast-track enlargement of the European Union. The European Union works very well, but the topic of enlargement is of course a complicated one. Since 2013 we got new country into the European Union, and now we have three very well prepared countries which we can be easily integrated. First of all, Montenegro. It's absolutely ready, and I call for Montenegro to be in 2024 already the full member of the European Parliament and of the European Union to participate in the vote. That's still close to 1.5 years, and it can be easily done. Similar process can be done for Albania and for North Macedonia, because they're all three already in NATO and they are compliant with our foreign policy. They are prepared. I myself contributed to the preparation, so I know very well, and this negotiation process might not have started, but what is a negotiation process for Albania and Kosovo? It's basic, and for Macedonia, it's basically a takeover process, and that can be really effectively sped up, and the rest can be done inside the European Union. Maybe Albania and North Macedonia can stay, under assisted and supervised framework, and that's very easy to be done. And that's exactly how we should do it. Yeah? We have to reward good behavior and we have to punish bad behavior. Obviously, the EU candidate status of Serbia must be frozen. That's very logical because they have not behaved. And obviously, then we have a very clear case that we have also for Bosnia and Kosovo first a NATO membership. Bosnia now got the EU candidate status, but for Kosovo that needs to be still done. And there are still some countries which have not recognized Kosovo, which is for me, without patience, I cannot accept that. And so we must, that Cyprus and also Romania, Slovakia, Greece, Spain get serious, and we need the recognition now. There's no reason not to recognize Kosovo, and if you think that you know things better than America or Germany or Austria, okay, that is a specific situation, I cannot help you, but don't get any kind of EU subsidies, please, because we should freeze all the transfers of the European Union to the non-recognizing states of Kosovo. So easy, so clear, and good luck. Yeah? I wonder if the Greeks and Mr. Mitsotakis and Mr. Ioannis and what they will say then. So that's the way to do that. And then the other thing is also the EU to join NATO, of course, and also to have the free trade agreements which are necessary to be done from the Americas, Mercosur, and India, Australia. It's 10. From time to time I lose the count. Uzbekistan, African Union, Gulf Cooperation Council, Mercosur, and that's very clear. That's on the defense. And what we additionally need, of course, is to work on the issue of integrating of Ukraine, Moldova, and Kosovo, and Ukraine, Moldova, and Georgia. Obviously, a EU candidate status. And I heard again that Mr. Saakashvili is in very bad shape. That also needs to be improved. He should be released actually, because he has done no meaningful crime. It's totally ridiculous. Yeah, so far for the enlargement and of course for NATO membership, I made the case already, and that's also good. The NATO I have talked, and yeah, I want to talk about the big issue. Obviously, that is the war in Ukraine. We must win it. So we need, as I have called already, we need jets, we need more tanks, we need more artillery, we need a big fiscal package, because ultimately wars are won by the fiscal industrial technology and also the democratic system. So that's very important to issue a 2 trillion new debt deal to fund the war and the victory and the reintegration. Obviously we can recover some of this cost from the Russian assets we can confiscate, but most of them not. So it's the European taxpayer who has to carry most of this, together with the American taxpayers and the Japanese, but ultimately the Europeans, we are the frontline state, and we have to do that, and we have to fund that via new debts, similar like we have done it. I call it victory bonds, and that's the logic of that. Then, of course, a part of that must be this huge interconnectivity agenda, also a European climate ticket. I have one ticket for everybody in all public transport in Europe. And then also to make it very clear, also for Mariupol, which must be liberated in 2023, to Durres, the Corridor 8, and then the Black Sea corridors and the Adriatic corridors, and all on that must be serious investment on high-speed rail, energy, ports, highways. Yes, Mrs. Gewessler, as well, highways. That's the Austrian Minister of Infrastructure, which doesn't like highways. But all these particularities, we have really no patience, and this makes no sense. On energy, of course, we need a clear yes to nuclear power as well, and of course to solar power, and all the energy resources must be worked on. I read now they have a common gas purchase deal already, and that's very good. Of course, more unity, faster enlargement, more integration, EU and NATO, and of course fiscal spending power on the European level, openness to the West, and unity in terms of energy and infrastructure and many other things is the logical answer to the Russian war. Do we want to lose? If you are for losing, I'm not for losing. Do you want to somehow concede defeat? I don't want that. So we should really make a bigger effort than we have made up to now in the first year. And we have made little progress on Kosovo. That's very regrettable. We have made progress, of course, with the EU candidate status of Ukraine. That was very good. But on the currency, we have not made a single bigger progress, but Croatia. That was good. Croatia in the Eurozone. But where's Bulgaria? Where's Romania? Where's Poland? Where's Sweden? Where is Denmark? Where is, of course, the whole issue of the euro as unilateral currency introduced then in Ukraine, Moldova, Georgia, in Serbia for the recognition of Kosovo. All these things I proposed since 2 years are not happening, and they are so logical, they must happen. And the opening of the labor market towards the whole candidate countries. All 9 must have full access to our labor market. That's the logic of economic integration. That's the logic to defeat inflation. The opening of the markets towards the Americas, and of course the EU labor markets. Yeah? If there was ever a more logical kind of moment, I cannot find it. I'm really confused how little progress the EU has made here in the center of decision making. I'm here as a visitor, and I'm very happy to be here. I made my speech on the breakup of Russia, which we also need to prepare, because it's a complete illusion to think that this will be without kind of consequences. Of course Russia will be defeated, of course Russia will be dismantled, of course we must prepare, and of course we must still pay for it. Yeah? So that's the complete logic of this. Yeah? So I would really like bigger effort and more courageous effort to be undertaken, and I will advocate for that. That I think I have covered. Infrastructure, energy, EU, the trade agreement, the labor market, the currency, the EU enlargement, the Kosovo, appeasement of Serbia. No, I think I said that very well. And I have covered the Ukrainian issue, the victory of Ukraine, the liberation, the jets. Of course we need fighter jets for Ukraine as well, because when you have tanks, you need to protect the air. So that's also, I think, very logical what I'm saying. Yes, I covered energy, I covered that. I think I have covered most of the things. I will go back to the conference. I say thank you very much for the invitation to the Center of European Democracy. I'm very proud to be back after, I was 7 years not in Brussels, since 2016. And when I left here, the European Parliament, as an advisor for SME Union, that was in 2004. So it's almost 20 years soon, 19 years, and it has not changed so much. We made some progress. We have really achieved a lot in the years before 2004 and 2007, but now here there's really the need to have a bigger push towards enlargement, and that will be my campaign for NATO, EU, for OECD enlargement, I almost forgot that, for WTO enlargement, for the recognition of Kosovo, and I will drive relentless this agenda for more unity as an answer to the Russian war until victory and the unity is achieved. Thanks a lot. All the best. Bye.